Good evening. My name is Sara Tomasello. I'm pleased to be able to be with you this evening for the first live broadcast at the new PKRG-TV. I'm one of the volunteers here at PKRG-TV, and the learning process has been fun and interesting, and it is ongoing. We will be organizing many new and interesting shows, in addition to presenting some of our vintage tapes of Park Ridge happenings, which have taken place over the past 20 years. It is my pleasure to introduce Ned Barber, who has been with PKRG-TV for many years, and along with all of us, is aiming to put PKRG-TV back on the map again.
Sara, thank you very much. And I must say that Sara has been with PKRG-TV at this point only really a few weeks. Was one of several volunteers that joined us, and has been involved in some very interesting things. She had an opportunity to interview children at when Santa came to Depot Square at Christmas time, and just this past Saturday was with me at the Westridge School at the Fun Fair talking to some of the children. We had hoped to bring you that segment tonight. We're having some technical problems that will prevent that, but that will be on the air hopefully starting tomorrow evening. You may have noticed that, Sara, if you have to go at this point, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
You may have noticed that Sara referred to the new PKRG-TV. I wanted to just take a moment to tell you why we're calling it that. Those of you who may have been following PKRG for many years since it was formed in the 1970s will probably remember that at that time we had 1 hour a week. I believe it was 7 o'clock on Mondays, and that was our airtime, 7 to 8, and that we had no other time. If we had a program that was longer than that, we were out of luck. If you watched the Monday show and liked it and told a friend, they were out of luck because it wasn't on again. Sometime along the way, the original group that formed PKRG-TV sort of disbanded. Many of them were older, and as they grew even older, they became sleepy, and they started to go to sleep earlier, and the 7 o'clock airtime became a problem. And so they sort of stopped participating. And there was one gentleman left by the name of Rich Rapetti that some of you may know, and he kept PKRG-TV alive single-handedly for a number of years. Rich recruited me into PKRG-TV. He recruited Kerry Butler, who's operating the camera today, and Bob Ludwig, who is handling the sound in the control room. And the three of us tried to bring PKRG-TV back. We did some interesting programs. We were on the air quite often. But as things happen, Rich found a girlfriend and moved out of town, which left the three of us. And we all had careers. We were all busy with jobs, with grandchildren. And so PKRG-TV itself went to sleep a number of years ago. And very little went on for several years. And while PKRG-TV was sleeping, Cablevision did something quite interesting. They took apart the wiring that was in Park Ridge for cable TV, and they replaced it with fiber optics, the new technology of the 21st century. In addition to using fiber optic, they changed the way the cable system works so that now, rather than sharing, as we did the old Channel 19 with 7 or 8 towns, we had Channel 77 all to ourselves. It's a dedicated channel, only viewable in Park Ridge, and we have it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Since we had a hard time getting 1 hour together to put on once a week, you can imagine our reaction when we were told we had all that time. Now that we have some more volunteers, we've come up with a format that we think will work for us and for the people of Park Ridge, and we also have some new technology that makes that possible. The plan is that every Monday we will have a new show which will be introduced live as we're doing tonight. We'll have a guest and an interview, and then we will air a series of segments off tape. Some of them will be archive footage, events that were taped many years ago. Some of them will be new programs that have been taped recently. This will take about 4 hours on a Monday night, and then for the rest of the week, from Tuesday through Sunday, we'll be able to automatically air the same show because of the equipment that we have in our facility. This means that if you see something on a Monday or a Tuesday that you like and tell someone else about it, they can see it on a Wednesday or a Thursday. Whatever day works for them, we should have a much larger audience and be able to provide much more service to Park Ridge. So that's what we mean by the new PKRG-TV. We have a tremendous archive of tapes, of shows that were done at the high school, of concerts, of town events such as picnics, Easter egg hunts, days at the pool. At some point on our website, which is pkrgtv.com, we'll put a list of that archive, and you can actually email us and say, hey, I'd love to see the tape you shot at the pool in the summer of 1986, and we'll dig it out and get it on the air for you. Tonight, the first segment that we're going to air is one that we found recently, and it features Barber Martine at the time of the Park Ridge Centennial in 1994, taking a number of people on the walk of the Wampum Trail, one of the ones that was created for the Centennial. We thought it would be really nice to run that segment, but we also thought it would be great to have Barber come in and talk to her a little bit about the Centennial. And Barber Martine is here with me now. And for those of you who don't know Barber well, she's been in Park Ridge a long time, not quite all your life, but a lot of it.
Right.
She is on the council at this point. She's also the fire commissioner and a longtime member of the Tri-Borough Volunteer Ambulance Corps. But more to the point, in relation to the Centennial, Barbara is our official historian in Park Ridge and was responsible for a lot of what went on and was certainly involved in most of what went on at the time of the Centennial. So I thought we'd ask her some questions about that. Barbara, good to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you.
What were the highlights of the Centennial? What were the things that you remember that made the Centennial special?
Well, we started a few years before the actual Centennial, and that was a lot of fun because we came up with so many different things that nobody was aware of. And you know, you live in somewhere and you live in a town, and a lot of times you take it for granted. And it was very interesting to find out, you know, different areas of the town that were historic,
Right.
you know, historic, that type of thing. But I like the historic walk, of course. That. And I mean, we had a lot of different things going on during that year. The parade was great. The picnic was super. I liked the concert and the fireworks were very good and
that.
very well attended. There were a lot of people there. And what that did, that started, we try to have fireworks every year now because everybody just loves them.
So that's when
yeah.
it started at the time of the Centennial?
It had started previously, but we hadn't had it in a while.
Right.
And we started it up again. Yeah.
We actually have that on tape. Maybe we'll air that
Yes.
someday.
And then, of course, the best part of the whole year was the Centennial Ball. And it was nice because we got people together that had been in town for a long time or different. You know, a lot of times you're with parents of the children that, you know, you're in school with, and then your children graduate and everything else. And
Yep.
it's nice because it brought everybody back together. And I think everybody really enjoyed it and had a great time.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was a good event.
Yes.
I had moved to Park Ridge in 1978, and the Centennial was really the first time that I was exposed to Park Ridge history, and I found it fascinating. I remember going on some of the walks. About that time, I learned about the Pascack Historical Society Museum on Ridge Avenue, and I went over there and saw that, and I can really trace my interest in Pascack Valley history to the events that happened in Park Ridge around the time of the Centennial. So it was a great thing for the town. I know that we did a book, and maybe you can
Yes.
just talk a little bit
Yeah,
about that.
George and Penny Peed put this book together, and it's absolutely wonderful. It starts probably from the 1600s, and it goes all the way up. They've got a lot of pictures in here, and there's still some copies at Borough Hall if you would like them. And I don't know how much it is. I think it's $12 a
Something,
book,
yeah.
something like that. But it's really interesting to read. It's really fabulous, and you get a lot about the town and the people that lived here and the people that live here now. So
It's one of the better ones.
great.
Most of the
Yeah.
towns in the Pascack Valley have had a centennial at this point. Rivervale is just wrapping theirs up, I think. Some of the books were paperback. This is one of the more
Yeah,
elaborate. It's a
this is-
hardcover book. It's really a great thing to have. Anyone that's interested in the history of the town, get one while you can, because they're not readily available. And when they appear on eBay, as they do after a while, there'll be a lot more money. The Centennial Walks, there were 3 of them.
Right.
What did they cover, and what were the differences?
okay, the first one was the Wampum Walk, and that was in the middle of town. That was in the middle of Park Ridge, and that included the Pascack Reformed Church, which is on Pascack Road, which is over 200 years old, and the old cemetery there. It included the where the Wampum mill used to be, where the high school is now. The high school, this is the 6th school that in the area of the high school now. And our first school was in 1806, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And yeah, isn't that something? And our schools, just to get off the subject a little bit, our schools had gotten children, I guess, from all parts.
Right.
Until probably 1956, I
Right.
think, when Pascack Valley started up.
Yeah, Park Ridge
And-
High School in the 1900s, first half of the 1900s, drew from Montvale
Right.
and Woodcliff because there have been reunions of those classes. And also, for those of you who know the size of the schools now, at that time, the graduating classes were like 175.
Right.
Where they put them, I can't imagine. But the first schoolhouse was a one-room, and
Right.
then that was knocked down and they built a slightly larger one.
Right.
If you're interested in that, actually on the history site that I maintain, pvhistory.org, we have artwork that we found that shows the series of schoolhouses up to the point where the high school was built, and then the high school burned down in, I think, the 40s, or before that maybe.
In the 20s.
20s,
Right.
and was rebuilt to pretty much what it is now. So
Yep.
now the other two, I mean, the
In
central.
fact, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but in this book, there's pictures and there's articles, et cetera, about the schools. So that's nice.
Now, the central area was a lot of the better-known historical
Right.
sites. What are some of the things in the other two walks?
The other two walks has the Historical Society on Ridge Avenue, and it also has the Bennett House, and that is next to the Catholic school on right across from the cemetery on Pascack Road, and that's probably about it. You know what they where the little the island. Oh goodness gracious!
Which
Forgot.
one?
On Colony Avenue, where they had the Echo Lake.
Oh,
Right, in the 20s and 30s.
Right.
And they had a recreation area, and they had a
Right.
little, they had a pond there, etc. They had boating. People would come from all over and use that area
Right.
for recreation.
And then there's also the Dean Estate, which was a very gorgeous household,
Yes.
and is now part of the senior
Plaza,
facility,
yes,
the
yes.
Plaza at Mill Pond.
Yes, we had asked them when they had bought the property if they could keep that house up, and that's used occasionally for small groups of people to meet in and that type of thing.
There's a lot of interesting stuff in Park Ridge, a lot of sights to see. As the weather gets nicer, it's a good thing to do, and we're going to try to get some more history activity going. I know that right now there's work in progress to create a historical commission.
Right. It has to go, the planning board is going to look at it, and then we would like to incorporate it in our master plan, and then hopefully towards the end of the year, we would like to incorporate it into the town. So we passed one
Good.
ordinance, and we have to do the final ordinance then. So,
Great. Well, we'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully that'll go through smoothly. I think it's time that we watch the segment where you lead everybody around the
Okay.
town. It's a lot of fun. It runs about 40 minutes, and we'll be back when that's over. So control room, if you will take it away, please.